Hello, everybody. It's the Lit Optimist. Today I'm talking about the seventh and final book in the Dark Tower series. The Dark Tower 7, The Dark Tower. The title may seem redundant, but cause will, my friend. This is the end, but sometimes the beginning is the end. There's a lot here involving kings and queens, the rose, the turtle of enormous girth. So much to love, so much to hate, there's everything. I can't say any more here without spoiling the whole damn thing. You just have to read it to believe it. The ending is so damn divisive, but I love it. Thanks to Natalie Titus for requesting this novel. This review, I like it. I like it a lot. I really like this review. I just recently wrote this a month ago. Um, I couldn't spoil it. I couldn't bring myself to, I can't do it there. But here, it's play ball. Let's go. Let's fucking go. I sound like my son right now. When he gets really excited, he stutters. I I mentioned, I think, in the last review that they kind of jumped the shark. Five might be the best in the series. Six is a good middle of the road book. There's a lot of shit that happens in it with it being so short of a novel. A lot that's jam packed in there. Stephen King is in the last book. He dies. We talked about that. In this one, people are gonna die. We're gonna lose people, and I think we lose. Do we lose Eddie first? I should have said spoiler alert. This could be a long one, so strap in. Um, yeah, when I first saw the Dark Tower 7 was called the Dark Tower 7, the Dark Tower. I'm like, that's fucking redundant. But then it hit me when I started to review it. Like when I was just about to start reviewing it, I was like, holy shit! That's the whole point. Um, Father Callahan dies first. They battle the evil infestation within the Dixie Pig, a vampire lounge in New York City, featuring roast human flesh and doors to the other worlds. After fighting off and destroying numerous low men and Type 1 vampires, Callahan sacrifices himself to let Jake survive. In the other world, Fedek, Mia, her body now physically separated from Susanna Dean, gives birth to Mordred Deshane. Mordred Deshane is a spider fucking thing. Like, let me see if there's a picture that does it justice. Mordred Deshane. It's like a spider baby. He's effectively a were spider, able to transform at will from a boy into a deadly spider like monstrosity. And he ages rapidly, and his whole purpose for being born is to kill his father, Roland, to stop him on his quest to get to the Dark Tower. The biological son of Roland, Deshane, and Susanna. Somehow, I think, like, I forgot how it works. She got fucked by a demon. I forgot how Roland and her. I forgot how that works. Because I think it was a demon. Roland fucked a demon at one point, or got raped by a fucking demon. Rode the fuck out of him. Got his cum inside of him. Then when that demon fucked Susanna, Roland's seed went in there. That's how I think it happened. The Crimson King is also a co-father of this prophetic child. So it's not surprising when baby Mordred's first act is to shapeshift into a spider creature and feast on its birth mother. Kills Mia. There you go. That's it. That's Mia. There we go. A whole book dedicated to her being a woman that just wants to. She's like, I don't want to be this fucking demonic entity anymore. I want to be a fucking woman. I want my own life. Very empowering, and then just fucking gets killed. Maybe allegorical, metaphorical to real life where women are held down. Could be. Stephen King, you're a genius. Um, Susanna shoots but fails to kill Mordred, eliminates other agents of the Crimson King, and escapes to meet up with Jake at the cross-dimensional door beneath the Dixie Pig, which connects to Fedek. Maturing at an accelerated rate, Mordred later stalks Roland and the other gunslingers throughout this adventure, shifting from human to spider as the need arises, seething with an instinctive rage toward Roland, his white daddy. Crimson King is his black daddy. Yeah, he's like a little baby, so it's like really fucking funny to like picture this baby being born and then speaking like a fucking adult. Same thing happens in Pet Cemetery. It's like I can't take this seriously. I just can't. A little child speaking like, "Hello there," you're fucking funny. You're really funny. I think that's the whole point. Like you're like, haha, and then you get killed. Like, what the fuck is that? In Maine, Roland and Eddie recruit John Cullum and then make their way back to Fedek, where the quartet is now reunited. Walter, known in other stories as Randall Flagg, plans to slay Mordred and use the birthmark on Mordred's heel to gain access to the tower, but he is easily slain by the infant when Mordred sees through his lies. This was a shocker because, like, Randall Flagg is a huge character, appearing in. I think we talked about the Dark Man, the poem about him. There's that, the walking dude. There's a fucking Children of the Corn. He may be he who walks behind the rose. There's the Stand. This is the big one where he's a villain, and he fucking dies in that one too. But he's reincarnated. So, but this death feels very definitive. Like he's definitely fucking dead. He's gone for good. He's gone. Walter O'Dim is no more, or whatever fucking name he uses. He's gone. And it's so fast. It's like ripped to fucking shreds. So like they're really trying to build up Mordred as this like real threat. You could just have him. He's stalking the group this entire time. I feel like this death was very like, I don't know. Everything happens for a reason, right? Roland and his quartet travel to Thunderclap, then to the nearby Devar Toy, to help a group of psychics known as Breakers who are allowing their telepathic abilities to be used to break away at the beams that support the tower. Ted Brodigan and Dinky Earnshaw assist the gunslingers with information and weapons and reunite Roland with his old friend Shimi Ruiz from Megis. Shimi is this special needs kid. Is this like special dude from the third one, the Wastelands, and he's very special. He's not just special needs. He's very fucking special, and he's here now. He's telepathic. It's like, oh wow, that's crazy. Like, Katet, that's cause of will. The gunslingers free the breakers from their captors, but Eddie is wounded after the battle and dies a short while later. This was fucked up. Yeah, I kind of spoiled it already before I even said spoiler. I don't think you. I think you see it happen. He's just standing there, and then gunshot through his chest. Oh, and then I forgot his last words, but he's like, oh, they got me or whatever, and it's just like, it's fucked. You know that people are gonna die. I was like, not fucking Eddie. And I'm like, what if we lose everybody but Roland? Or what if we lose Roland? I don't even know. I don't even know. Roland and Jake pause to mourn and then jump to Maine of 1999 along with Oy in order to save the life of Stephen King, whom he writes to be a secondary character in the book. The quartet have come to believe that the success of their quest depends on King surviving to write about it through his books. They discover King about to be hit by a van. Jake pushes King out of the way, but Jake is killed in the process. He fucking dies. It makes me so angry. Eddie was one, but Jake ends up. A bunch of people are about to attack him and make sure that this does happen. He does indeed die. The king must die, and Jake like shields King or pushes him out the way, and then he takes the brunt of the accident and he dies. Fucked up. Roland, heartbroken with the loss of his adoptive son, buries Jake and returns with Oy to Susanna and Fedek via the Dixie Pig. They are chased to the depths of Castle Discordia by an otherworldly monster, then depart and travel for weeks across freezing badlands toward the tower. Along the way, they find Patrick Danville, a young man imprisoned by someone who calls himself Joe Collins, but is really a psychic vampire named Dandelo. So Patrick Danville, I guess, is a main. He's a character in a novel called Insomnia from 1994, which I have yet to read. Dandelo is a part of the same species, apparently, that Pennywise is. Somehow. Some fucking way. Some people even posited that Dandelo is Pennywise, but King debunked that. And a bunch of fans, I think, debunked that as well. Like, no, Dandelo is his own thing. Dandelo feeds off the emotions of his victims and starts to feed off. Yep, there you go. That's what Pennywise does, and starts to feed off of Roland and Susanna by telling them jokes. Roland and Susanna are alerted to the danger by Stephen King, who drops clues directly into the book, enabling them to defeat the vampire. It's like a cheat code. They discover Patrick in the basement and find that Dandelo had removed his tongue. Patrick is freed, and soon his special talent becomes evident. His drawings and paintings become reality. As their travels bring them nearer to the Dark Tower, Susanna comes to the conclusion that Roland needs to complete his journey without her. Susanna asks Patrick to draw a door she has seen in her dreams to lead her out of this world. He does so, and once it appears, Susanna had a bitter-sweet goodbye with Roland and crosses over to another world. Mordred finally reaches and attacks Roland. Oy viciously defends his den, providing Roland the extra seconds needed to exterminate the were-spider. Oy is impaled on a tree branch and dies. Roland continues on to his ultimate goal and reaches the tower, only to find it occupied by the Crimson King. They remain in a stalemate for a few hours until Roland has Patrick draw a picture of the Crimson King and then erase it, thus wiping him out of this existence except for his eyes. Roland gains entry into the tower while Patrick turns back home. The last scene is that of Roland crying out the names of his loved ones and fallen comrades as he had vowed to do. The door of the Dark Tower closes shut as Patrick watches from a distance. The story then shifts to Susanna, coming through the magic door to an alternate 1980s New York, where Gary Hart is president. Susanna throws away Roland's gun, which does not function on this side of the door, rejecting the life of a gunslinger, and starts a new life with alternate versions of Eddie and Jake, who in this world are brothers with the surname Torin. They have only very vague memories of their previous journey with Susanna, whose own memories of Midworld are already beginning to fade. It is implied that an alternate version of Oy, the Billy Bumbler, will also join them. In a final coda section, King urges the reader to close the book at this point. Consider the story finished with a happy ending and not venture inside the tower with Roland. For those who do not heed the warning, the story resumes with Roland stepping into the Dark Tower. He realizes that the tower is not really made of stone, but a kind of flesh. It is Gan's physical body. As he climbs the steps, Roland encounters various rooms containing sigils or signs of his past life. When he reaches the top of the tower, he finds a door marked with his own name and opens it. Roland instantly realizes, to his horror, that he has reached the tower countless times before and is trapped in Ka's will as punishment for his ruthlessness and killing. He is forced through the door by the hands of Gan and transported back in time to the Mohane Desert, back to where he was at the beginning of the Dark Tower of the Gunslinger, with no memories of what has just occurred. The only difference is that this time Roland possesses the Horn of Eld, which in the previous incarnation he had left lying on the ground after the Battle of Jericho Hill. Roland hears the voice of Gan whispering that if he reaches the tower again, perhaps this time the result will be different. There may yet be rest and redemption if he stands true. The series ends where it began in the first line of Book 1. The man in black fled across the desert and the gunslinger followed. I got kind of emotional there. I don't know if that came through. Fuck. I forgot that Stephen King was like, close the book. Just don't fucking read the rest of this. Of course, knowing that people were like, fuck you, I want to know what happens. And just to be fucking, like, punched in the gut with how, like, that's not a fucking ending. That's not a good ending at all. I disagree. That's an amazing ending. The fact that he teases you with the knowledge that things could be different if he goes about it a different way. Reminds me of a video game, kind of. Like, just go... You beat the game, but did you get the true ending? Play again and do things differently, and you might get a different ending. Like, it's like, oh man, it's very poetic. Cause of will. I can see people being super fucking pissed at this, and a lot of people did not like the ending, so that's why he made um, the Wind Through the Keyhole, which is a bag of dicks compared to this. Like, just for the record, it's the worst one in the series. I just have to get that one little dig in for that too, because Cause a wheel and Wind Through the Keyhole almost threw a fucking spoke in that wheel. Like, what are you doing? Um, but as a book, it's still pretty good. Um, so the film sequel, The Dark Tower, is a film sequel. Um, Stephen King states that the Dark Tower film is actually a sequel to the book series. I've heard mixed things about it. Um, but yeah, if you guys haven't read the Dark Tower series at all, please do so. It's phenomenal. I actually want to read like the comics and everything too now. Um, yeah. Oh. You guys have a good one. Thanks again, Natalie. This is the entire reason for Natalie wanting me to read everything Stephen King ever wrote ever. Um, like right now, I could stop reading Stephen King and she'd be like, "That's it, you're good." But I love Stephen King, so I'm gonna keep reading his shit. Um, I'm actually reading a bunch of chick tracks right now. Status update. I'm still reading like a fuck ton of chick tracks. I'm in the out of print ones right now, and then I was reading like the I's through the S's. I was reading till the S's because I read so much, so many other books and stuff. I was like, I gotta catch up. So this is once I get to that, then I'll be reading Stephen King again. Really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to getting out of this religious hellhole that I found myself in. But yeah, you all take care. Cause a will.